This video is for educational purposes only. All testing is done in a controlled home lab environment. Do not use these tools on any systems you do not own or have permission to test. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be looking at more password cracking techniques, but this time we're going to be using Burp Suite. But before we get started, we have to download Foxy Proxy, and what Foxy Proxy is, it's a browser extension that makes switching between proxies very simple and easy to do. We're going to go to the website on screen, we're going to click Add to Firefox, then we're going to click Add, then we're going to check Allow this extension to run in private windows. Next, we're going to open Foxy Proxy and we're going to click Options. Then we're going to go over to Proxies, and this will allow us to add our new proxy that we need. On this screen here, all we need to be concerned about is the host name and the port that Foxy Proxy will be running on. We'll open up Burp Suite. And then we'll go to proxy settings, and as you can see here, it's running on our loopback address with the port of port 8080. Back over to Foxy Proxy, our hostname is going to be our loopback address, and our port is going to be port 8080. Now that we have all that entered, we'll click Save, and we'll turn on Foxy Proxy. We'll turn our interceptor on over on Burp Suite. And when we go to a test site, it says that we're missing a certificate, so let's go ahead and get that certificate. We'll type in Burp Suite in our browser, we'll go to where it says CA certificate, and we'll download the certificate. Now that we have the certificate, we need to install it. We'll go to the settings of our Firefox, scroll all the way down to where it says View Certificates. Under the Authorities tab, we'll click Import, and then we're going to import that new certificate that we just downloaded. And we do trust this certificate, so we're going to click both the boxes here. Now that we have the certificate installed, we'll turn on our interceptor on Burp Suite again. We'll go to google.com. And as you can see here, it's starting to pick up that traffic. Now that Foxy Proxy is set up, let's go ahead and start cracking some passwords. We're here on the Damn Vulnerable Web application, and we're just going to be looking at the first two levels of brute forcing today. I will eventually put out a video on how to crack those higher level difficulties. I just want you guys to understand the basics of Burp Suite and how we use it. Under the security settings, we'll select Low. For our username, we'll type in user, and for our password, we'll type in password. We'll turn our interceptor on in Burp Suite, and when we try to log in, we see that Burp Suite is capturing that traffic from that login attempt. With the traffic we captured, we'll right click and send it to our Intruder tab. Under the Intruder tab, this is where we craft our attack to crack those passwords. First, we're going to clear any markers that we may have by default, and we'll go ahead and set up our new markers. And by marker, what I mean is our variables that we're using to crack our login. In this case, our first marker is going to be our username, and our second marker is going to be our password. Now that we have our markers selected, we'll go ahead and pick the type of attack we want. In this case, it's going to be cluster bomb. As you can see here, we have two payload sets, 1 and 2. 1 is our username and 2 is our password. Where it says payload type, For both of them, we're going to do runtime file because we're going to be using our own set of usernames and passwords to crack our login. For our users, we're going to be using the HTTP default users text, and that word list can be found in the word list section of Kali Linux. And for our password list, we're going to be using the RockU text that comes pre-installed with Kali Linux as well. Now that we have our attack, I'm going to click Start Attack, and we'll pick everything back up once the attack is finished. Now that we let the attack run for a bit, we want to look for the password and username combination that has the highest length. And as you can see here, the password and username combination of admin and password is the one with the highest length. So let's use those credentials to see if we can log in. And when we try those credentials, we see that we're able to log in. Let's take a look at the medium difficulty. The only difference is if we enter a wrong username and password, we have to wait 2 seconds before we can make another attempt. So it's going to be the same exact process. We're going to make sure Foxy Proxy is on and our interceptor on Burp Suite is on as well. We're going to send our request to our Intruder tab. Let's select the markers of our username and password. We're going to be using the same 2 word lists from before for our username and password. And we're going to run the attack, and like before, we're looking for the password and username combination that has the highest length. And as you can see, we found those credentials with the highest length. Let's go ahead and use them. And we're in. So congratulations guys, you learned how to crack passwords using Burp Suite. This is just a very small percentage of what Burp Suite can do. As the channel progresses, I'm sure we're going to be taking a look at Burp Suite once again. Check out Vicky Lee's book, Bug Bounty Bootcamp, and that goes into more detail about Burp Suite from a bug bounty point of view, but it's still very useful, has a lot of great tips, so definitely check that out. With that said guys, thanks for sticking with me, and I'll catch you on the next one.